ones that are interesting. There are other blockchains out there. Stellar is one actually intended to use by banks. Normal blockchains are useless for banks. Things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's a lot of problems. The simplest one is it's a public ledger. Everybody can see every transaction, and that's completely illegal. That's against privacy laws. You can't have a bank where it exposes all your transactions to the whole world. That's ridiculous. And it doesn't have any facility for auditing and things like that. So the Stellar network really has all this stuff. You have the user's app going to a bridge server. There's a compliance server and more compliance servers and another bridge server. There's a whole network of servers in different roles to create a real bank on the blockchain. That's what Stellar is designed for, and it's backed by IBM. And all blockchains have to solve the Byzantine generals problem. That is the fundamental logical mathematical problem that the blockchain is supposed to solve, where what you have is a bunch of people that have to agree about something, but you can't trust them. So some of them will lie and cheat, and some of them will even form conspiracies to lie together to fool you. That's the Byzantine generals problem. And so there are different attempts to design consensus protocols to solve this problem, and the Stellar has tried to form a very good consensus protocol. Now, Bitcoin used proof of work, where the plan was everybody's just trying to guess to mine the blocks, and you have a big reward for winning that race. So the idea is that you have a financial incentive to play the game by the rules. You will make more money with a fast computer mining blocks than you would performing these attacks and cheating. That's the idea, and that seems to be more or less true on the Bitcoin network. But then there's the proof of stake, Byzantine agreement, Tendermint, very techniques. They have a thing called the Stellar Consensus Protocol that they have designed to try to reach consensus. And they talk about this if you have people trying to decide what to have for lunch. So there are people who vote for pizza and people who vote for hamburger, and then you somehow get the average, and then a quorum ratifies it. So you get a majority rule. They have a digital version of this where the nodes discuss things and decide, what block to accept and put on the blockchain. And that's the game. So you can set this up. It's a little bit of software you have to install and create a web server, and then you can perform a transaction on the Stellar network and see what it looks like. It is pretty complicated, and you end up down here with 2 accounts, and you send money from one to the other on the network, and you see the transactions with these long blobs of base64 encoded data are the transactions. That's what all blockchain transactions look like. And you can see it appearing on the real Stellar network. There's a real Stellar testnet running, and you can see your transactions on there. So that's another special purpose blockchain that may turn out to be useful.